In the magical kingdom of Serenvale, nestled between crystal lakes and emerald hills, stood the majestic Rainbow Castle, with 7 soaring towers, each a different color of the rainbow. The castle sparkled under the sun like a precious jewel. It was said that the castle's magic kept the kingdom in peace and harmony, and that each tower held a special stone that glowed with the magic of its color. Princess Alina, with her long dark braids and curious heart, lived in Rainbow Castle with her father, King Orion, and her mother, Queen Thalia. Alina was known throughout the land for her bright spirit and endless questions. She loved exploring the castle's many secret passages, reading old books in the royal library, and listening to the castle's stories told by the wise old steward, Master Elric. One morning, Princess Alina awoke to something unusual. As the sunlight poured through her windows, she noticed that the red tower, the Tower of Courage, was not glowing like the others. Every morning, all 7 towers shone brightly in their colors, but now the red one was dull, and the castle felt quieter, almost still. Alina hurried to the throne room, where her parents were already gathered with Master Elric and the castle advisors. Everyone looked worried. "The red stone has dimmed," said Queen Thalia. "This hasn't happened in centuries." "The Tower of Courage protects the spirit of the kingdom," Master Elric explained. "If it remains dark, the magic that holds our land together may begin to fade." "Has it ever happened before?" Alina asked. The old steward nodded. "Once, long ago, but the story has become legend. The last time the stones dimmed, it was because someone had betrayed the trust of the castle. The stones can only glow when their virtues are strong: courage, kindness, wisdom, joy, love, honesty, and unity." Alina looked toward the glowing towers through the tall glass windows. "Then I want to find out what happened. Maybe I can help bring back the light." King Orion placed a hand on her shoulder. "It may be dangerous, Alina. Are you sure?" She nodded. "If the castle needs me, I won't let it down." Master Elric handed her a small satchel, filled with supplies and a map of the castle's ancient lower chambers, areas sealed off for decades. He also gave her a tiny crystal compass shaped like a star. "This will glow brighter the closer you are to the source of the disturbance," he said. Alina set off immediately, with her loyal cat, Whiskers, padding softly behind her. She followed the winding staircases beneath the castle into the forgotten passages. Dust floated in the air, and the walls were covered in faded murals, showing the founding of the kingdom and the birth of the rainbow stones. As she walked, the compass began to flicker red. It led her to a thick wooden door covered in vines. She reached out and pulled the vines aside, revealing an old carving of the rainbow towers. Pressing her hand against the image, the door creaked open slowly. Inside was a hidden chamber, lit only by the glow of enchanted fireflies. At the center stood a pedestal with a stone box on top. Alina approached carefully and opened the lid. Inside was a broken shard of red crystal, humming with a soft, sad energy. Beneath it lay a scroll. She unrolled the scroll and read aloud. "The light has faded, not from loss, but from a heart that's lost its way. Courage cannot shine when fear is hidden away." As she read, she felt a strange sensation in her chest, like a flutter of nerves. The castle was not losing magic because someone had betrayed it, but because someone had lost their own courage. "But whose?" she whispered. Just then, the fireflies swirled and formed a shape in the air, a vision of a young girl hiding in the shadows of the red tower, crying softly. Alina stepped closer. "Who are you?" she asked. The vision spoke. "I am Lyra. I once guarded the Tower of Courage, but I failed. I ran from a test of bravery, and the tower dimmed. I have stayed hidden in the forgotten halls ever since." Alina's eyes softened. "You didn't fail. You were afraid. Everyone feels that way sometimes. Lyra looked at her with surprise. But the stone, it needs true courage. True courage doesn't mean never being scared, said Alina gently. It means doing the right thing, even when you're afraid. The crystal compass in Alina's hand glowed brighter. The broken shard on the pedestal began to pulse with warmth. Lyra's image flickered. Then, "Do you believe I can still restore it?" Alina smiled. "I do, and I'll help you." Lyra nodded, and the chamber filled with light. The shard lifted into the air and flew toward the red tower, leaving a trail of crimson sparks behind. Moments later, the dull red glow on the tower blazed back to life. The castle walls shimmered with energy. Alina hurried back upstairs. The royal court had gathered in the courtyard, staring up at the tower. When they saw her, they burst into applause. "The red light has returned!" cried Master Elric. "What did you do?" Queen Thalia asked, amazed. "I listened," Alina said simply, "and I found someone who needed to believe in themselves again." Later that evening, a celebration was held in the Grand Hall. Music filled the air, and the rainbow stones glowed more beautifully than ever. That night, Alina stood on her balcony, looking out at the towers. She knew that the castle didn't just need powerful magic. It needed understanding, forgiveness, and heart. The real mystery of the Rainbow Castle was not hidden in its stones, but in the people who lived within its walls. And from that day on, Princess Alina became known not just for her curiosity, but for her courage, the kind that helps others find their light again.